Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Daily Speaking English podcast. My name is Lena, and I'm so happy you're here with me today. I'm feeling really excited because today's episode is going to be super helpful for all of you. We're going to practice English together in a fun and easy way. If you enjoyed this episode, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, share it with your friends who are learning English, and click that bell icon so you never miss a new lesson. All right, I'm ready to get started. Let's dive in. Today, I want to talk about something really special called shadowing practice. Have you heard about this before? Shadowing is when you listen to someone speaking and you repeat what they say at the same time. You follow their voice like a shadow. That's why we call it shadowing. It's one of the best ways to improve your speaking skills and your pronunciation. The great thing about shadowing is that you can do it anywhere and anytime. You don't need a classroom. You don't need a teacher standing next to you. You can practice while you're walking to work, while you're cooking dinner, or even while you're getting ready for bed. Let me tell you why I love shadowing so much. When you shadow someone, you're not just repeating words, you're also copying their rhythm, their tone, and their natural way of speaking. Think about when you were a baby learning your first language. You didn't study grammar books, right? You listened to your parents and family members, and you tried to copy the sounds they made. Shadowing works the same way. It helps your brain learn English in a natural way, just like how you learned your first language. Another wonderful thing about shadowing is that it's perfect for busy people. Maybe you work full-time and you don't have hours to study. Maybe you have children and your time is limited. That's okay. You can do shadowing practice for just 5 minutes. Even 5 minutes every day will make a big difference over time. I remember when I was learning English, I used to practice shadowing on my way to work. I would listen to podcasts or audiobooks and repeat the sentences quietly. Some people probably thought I was talking to myself, but I didn't care because I knew it was helping me improve. Now, let me share some important tips with you. First, don't worry about making mistakes. This is really important. When you're shadowing, your goal is not to be perfect. Your goal is to practice and get comfortable with English sounds. If you make a mistake, that's completely normal. Everyone makes mistakes when they're learning. I still make mistakes sometimes, and that's okay. Mistakes help us learn and grow. So please don't feel stressed or worried. Just relax and enjoy the practice. Second tip is to start with simple sentences. Don't try to shadow very long or complicated sentences at first. Begin with short, easy phrases. For example, you can start with greetings, like, "Can I ask you something?" or "Do you have a moment?" These are simple, everyday phrases that we use all the time. When you practice these basic phrases, you build your confidence. Then later, you can move on to longer sentences and more difficult vocabulary. Let me give you some examples of useful phrases you can practice. These are phrases you might use when starting a conversation with someone. You could say, "I want to tell you something," or "I have a small question," or "I want to share an idea." These are all friendly ways to begin talking with someone. When you practice these phrases through shadowing, they become automatic. You don't have to think about them anymore. They just come out naturally when you need them. Another area where shadowing really helps is with expressing your feelings. In English, we talk about our emotions a lot. We say things like, "It's nice to meet new people," or "I enjoy talking to others." When you shadow these kinds of sentences, you learn how to express yourself more naturally. You also learn the correct word order and the natural rhythm of English. For example, you might say, "I like learning about people," or "Everyone has something interesting to say." These are positive, friendly statements that help you connect with others. Now, let's talk about feelings and emotions. It's important to be able to talk about how you feel in English. Sometimes you might say, "I feel good today," or "I feel calm and relaxed." These are positive feelings, but sometimes we have difficult feelings too, and that's normal. You might feel tired after a long day at work. You might feel stressed when you have too many things to do. You might feel worried about something in your life. All of these feelings are completely normal. Everyone experiences them. What's important is learning how to talk about these feelings and how to take care of yourself. When you feel tired, you should rest. When you feel stressed, you can take a few deep breaths. When you feel worried, you can slow down and take things one step at a time. And when you feel sad, it really helps to talk to someone you trust. Talking about our feelings helps us understand them better. It also helps us feel less alone because we realize that other people have similar feelings too. I want to talk about being kind to yourself. This is something I believe is really important, especially when you're learning a new language. Learning English takes time. It takes patience, it takes practice, and it takes consistency. You need to keep showing up every day, even when it feels difficult. But here's the thing, you need to be gentle with yourself during this journey. Don't expect to be perfect. Don't compare yourself to other people. Everyone learns at their own speed. Try to focus on small steps. Small steps are enough. If you learn just one new word today, that's progress. If you practice speaking for 5 minutes, that's progress. If you understand one more sentence than yesterday, that's progress. All of these little steps add up over time. After a few months, you'll look back and realize how much you've improved. But you have to be patient with yourself and keep going. Let me share a personal story with you. When I was learning English, there were days when I felt like giving up. I would listen to native speakers and think, I'll never be able to speak like that. But then I remembered something important. Those native speakers had their whole lives to learn English. I was just starting. So I decided to focus on what I could do, not on what I couldn't do yet. I practiced a little bit every day. I was kind to myself when I made mistakes, and slowly, my English got better and better. Now I want to talk about asking for help. This is a really important skill in any language. Sometimes we need help, and that's okay. You might say, "Can you help me with this?" Or, "I need a little help." These are simple, polite ways to ask someone for assistance. You might also say, "I'm not sure what to do," or "Can you explain it to me?" There's nothing wrong with asking questions. In fact, asking questions is how we learn. If you don't understand something, you can say, "I didn't understand that part." You can also ask someone to speak more slowly by saying, "Could you speak a little slower?" Most people will be happy to help you. They understand that you're learning and they want to support you. And always remember to say thank you. You can say, "Thank you for your help," or "I really appreciate it," or "That was very kind of you." Showing gratitude is important in every culture and every language. Let's talk about your daily English practice. I know you're working hard to improve. You're listening to this podcast right now, which shows that you're serious about learning. You're learning English every day, taking it step by step. Maybe you practice a little every morning before work. Maybe you listen to English podcasts while you're exercising. Maybe you watch English videos before bed. Whatever your routine is, keep it going. Consistency is the key to success. Remember that learning a language takes time. You can't become fluent in 1 week or 1 month. But if you practice consistently for 6 months, 1 year, or 2 years, you will see amazing results. Think about it like going to the gym. If you exercise once, you won't see any changes in your body. But if you exercise 3 times a week for 6 months, you'll definitely see a difference. English is the same. Regular practice is what makes the difference. I want to encourage you to believe in yourself. You can do this. Learning English might feel challenging sometimes, but you are capable of doing it. Thousands of people around the world have learned English, and you can too. You just need to keep practicing, keep being patient with yourself, and keep showing up every day. Even on the days when you feel tired or discouraged, try to do just a little bit. Those small efforts add up to big results. Before we finish today's episode, let me quickly review what we talked about. First, we learned about shadowing practice and why it's so effective for improving your speaking skills. We talked about how you can practice shadowing anywhere and anytime, even if you only have 5 minutes. Second, we discussed the importance of not worrying about mistakes and being kind to yourself. Remember, mistakes are a normal part of learning. Third, we practiced some useful phrases for starting conversations and expressing feelings. And finally, we talked about the importance of consistency and taking small steps every day. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. I really appreciate you being here and working on your English. My advice for you is to listen to this episode again tomorrow and maybe again the day after that. Each time you listen, you'll understand more and your speaking will get better. Try to use some of the phrases we practiced today in your real life. When you're talking to someone, try saying, "Can I ask you something?" Or, "I want to share an idea." The more you use these phrases, the more natural they will become. Remember, repetition is how we learn. It's how your brain remembers new things and makes them automatic. I hope you enjoyed today's episode and found it helpful. Please leave a comment below and tell me which phrases you liked the most or if you have any questions. I love reading your comments and hearing about your English learning journey. Thank you again for listening. This is Lena from the Daily Speaking English podcast. Keep practicing, keep believing in yourself, and I'll see you in the next episode. Goodbye for now.